Morning everyone, how you doing? I know, COVID here, it's not great. I'm getting to the point where I'm contemplating letting Becca at it with the clippers and a pair of scissors. It's getting a little bit silly, but not as bad as Nat, my eldest son. He's unfortunately blessed with a similar hair gene, but his is even more fluffy than this. He's got some form of fro kicking off, but he won't let me near it. How's your week been? The weather's been pretty all right. And this week, the Alpha video was looking at how does God guide us. And there are loads of examples in the videos of how people have been guided, and I could sit here for hours telling you about different things that God has done in my life and in our life as a family to guide us. Just one example. When we got married, we were living down in Crawley, down near Gatwick, but we weren't really settled there, and we ended up buying a house up in the Peak District. My wife's parents lived and still live up here in the Peaks, so we bought a house up in the Peak District, and we went to a church, and we were quite settled for 2 or 3 years, and then Becca got pregnant. We had our eldest son, and we both felt that maybe it was time that we needed to move from the Peak District. And we didn't know where, and we didn't really tell people that we were thinking of going, but 2 separate people said to us, have you considered moving to Dronfield? And it was just like, we'd heard of Dronfield, never been there, knew it was just outside Sheffield, and I was working in the city of Sheffield at that time. So it was, okay, there's something maybe here. 2 people have said it. And then the vicar of the church we were at that time basically said, yeah, I think it's right that you leave this church and you move. So it was like, right, okay, well, we want to find a church in Dronfield if this is God, different people telling us to go, and we looked at a church to go to, looked online, and the church that we thought we would want to go to, we basically drove from where we lived out in Crestbrook towards Dronfield, and it's about 25-30 minute drive on a Sunday morning to go to a church in the town. And on the way to Dronfield, me and my wife both prayed, obviously keeping my eyes open, and we felt really strongly that actually God wanted us to go to another church that we'd seen on the internet, and certainly one that we wouldn't have considered going to, but it was like, okay, we'll give this one a go. Next week we'll try another church, the church we were originally going to. So we pulled up at this church, and we prayed again, and it was Bex, I'm sure it was Bex, Becca or me, one of us said, in fact it was Becca, she was like, I feel really sure that God will make it clear we'll be welcomed at this place, and we won't just be welcomed well, but we'll be offered out for a meal. And it was like, all right, that's quite specific. So we got out the car, walked into the church, and immediately met a couple who are still really good friends of ours. And they were like, how are you? What are you doing after the service? Do you want to come round for dinner? And we both looked at each other. It was like, oh, okay. And then after the service, another couple offered us to go out for dinner with them. And it was like, well, okay, that's clearly from God, to be that precise that we're going to be welcomed and offered meals. And two couples offered us out for dinner. And we say to that church, we're not there now, so I'm now at the Baptist church. We had a really good time at that church, and God really blessed us as a family, and actually blessed the youth work that I did. I had a really successful youth work that was blessed by him. So God guides us through our lives, and he's guided me, as I say, in loads and loads of ways, but I'm not going to go on about that. I'd encourage you to watch the video again. I've just sat and watched it again, and it's just, the more I watch it, the more things drop in. And Nicky Gumbel, the minister there, talks about 5 different ways that God guides us. And he does. He guides me through my life. And someone's asked about the path for God's, following God's path. And that's a really good one. I've had loads of young people like, oh, Andy, I don't know if I'm following God's path for my life. What if I go to the wrong university? What if I go out with the wrong boyfriend or girlfriend? And it's like, whoa, hold on. I don't think that God has here's point A and here's point B, and there's one correct line to get there. and you make wrong decisions, you go off, oh, I need to bring you back down to this line. I think we have point A here and point B is over here. And God will guide us on that journey through the decisions that we make. And even if we maybe make wrong decisions or poor decisions, God will use that. We'll use those decisions that we make to bless us and to bless others. And he doesn't have this is one journey, one route. We carry on our lives, and we, as Christians, we should try and live the way God wants us to. But knowing that no matter what decisions or how we live, God will use that and bend that to work for his good. And that's enough from me. It's Bank Holiday Friday. It's a bit confusing. It's Friday, but it's Bank Holiday Monday on a Friday. And now it's VE date, so I'm going to go spend some time with the family. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday. Bye.